Hi everyone, it's the 1st of October, so you know what that means. It means that it's getting near time for my collection of poetry coming out. So I thought what I would do, and I'm really sorry if you're fed up looking at my face, but hey ho, you know, I'm trying to get this book out there, and I'm trying to promote it best I can. I wasn't sure if I was going to go over the self-publishing process today. I thought I might do that, but I'm not going to do that. But I'm just going to mention something really quickly. I always say to people, because I know a lot of people are quite reluctant to try the self-publishing process. And I always say it's really not difficult. It's not difficult at all. It's really quite straightforward. It's not rocket science, but it is quite time consuming. But it's not rocket science. But anyway, so the beauty of putting anything on pre-order, I am a bit of a perfectionist, I have to say, but the beauty of putting anything on a pre-order means that you've got that window to correct any mistakes, and thankfully you do have that. I think it's a good thing to do, to put something on pre-order. You're building up a momentum, hopefully, of people getting the word out there and people knowing that this book is coming out, especially like myself. If you're not a well-known author like JK or anybody else for that matter. So yeah, Kindle, KDP, or I had up until, I think it's up until today, or it could be up until tomorrow, to give them or change anything within the manuscript or within the details that you have to enter when you upload the manuscript. And they kept sending me this, you have up until, and I've checked the manuscript 1,000 times, and I'm thinking there must be something that's not right, because they keep giving me this, they keep sending me it every single day. I'm like, right, okay. So I actually went on a KDP itself, where I had put in the details of the book, and once the book goes live, you can't change anything about that. And I realised that I had put the title Pieces of Me, but I hadn't put a collection of poetry. So yeah, I know. So I did that last night. So yeah, hopefully, saved by the bell, we're good to go. We're good to go. Yeah, we're good to go. So what I thought I would do today is, I always find it really hard to decide which poems are going to go in a collection. I had shortlisted nearly 100, over 100, and as it goes, there is just over 70 in this collection. I had thought about reading something that's not in the collection that I put to one side, which is still relevant to the subject matter, and then I thought I would read one of the poems which is in the last part of the collection, and this poem is called Journey Back to Me. But before I read the poem, I want to read you some of these statistics about domestic abuse. And if you go to the community section of you go to the community section of this platform, you will see that there's a picture of a girl in a fetal position, and I had put the statistics on there, but you probably might not be able to read the statistics. I think the writing is probably too small. I am going to read these statistics out, and I think I might have read them out before when I made a video. Got a hanky today. I've got a hanky today because my nose always runs. I don't know why it runs all the time, even when it's not cold. And I don't want to start talking about the weather, but the weather has been absolutely crap here last couple of days. Grey, overcast, raining, hey-ho. Yeah. So yeah, I might have read these statistics out before when I made a video called Taboo Subjects, and I'm not sure, I can't remember, but these statistics are taken from Refuge, which is a charity for women and children of abusive partners, and the statistics are quite frightening. They're quite, they don't make for good reading, but I'm going to read these statistics out, and then I'm going to read the last poem, and then you probably might not hear from me for quite some time. You should be so lucky. So, this is from the website Refuge. Domestic abuse is all too common in the UK, but as we know, it's not confined to the UK. It's a worldwide epidemic, and its harmful impacts on survivors can extend to many areas of their lives, including mental health, physical well-being, and family safety. Fact: the police receive a domestic abuse related call every 30 seconds. Every 30 seconds. Yet it is estimated that less than 24% of domestic abuse crime is reported to the police. Fact: 1 in 4 women in England and Wales will experience domestic abuse in her lifetime. Domestic abuse feels incredibly isolating, but the numbers tell a different story. You are not alone. Fact: on average, 1 woman is killed by an abusive partner or ex every 5 days. Every 5 days in England and Wales. If you are afraid of your partner, Refuge is here to help. Fact: it takes on average 7 attempts before a woman is able to leave for good. Leaving an abusive partner is a process, not a single act. Fact: domestic abuse is linked to depression and homelessness. Women who experience domestic abuse are twice as likely to experience depression, and 40% of homeless women state domestic abuse is a contributing factor to their homelessness. Fact: domestic abuse can lead women to suicide. It is estimated that around 3 women a week die by suicide as a result of domestic abuse. I have to say that I might have thought about it on occasion when I was in that relationship, but I had 2 aging parents who needed me, so it wasn't even an option. It was not an option. Fact: domestic abuse. Sorry, I've lost a bit of my thread here. 20% of children in the UK have lived with an adult perpetrating domestic abuse. That's one in 5 kids. Domestic abuse gets worse during pregnancy. About 20% of women in refuge services are pregnant or recently given birth. Fact: young girls in the UK report high incidences of sexual violence. 41% of UK girls aged 14 to 17 in an intimate relationship experience some form of sexual violence from their partner. Fact: 93% of defendants in domestic abuse cases are male. 84% of victims are female. But I'm not being biased here because I know it can happen the other way around. And yet women are 3 times more likely to be arrested for incidents of abuse. That is your statistics for domestic abuse. And I think we can agree they don't make good reading. They do not make good reading. I could talk about this subject all day. I could go into the nitty-gritty of what happened to me. But I don't want to go into the nitty-gritty of what happened to me. I don't want to, there's people that will sit and talk about it on screen for all the world to know, and I don't have a problem with that, but I really don't want to go into all the nitty-gritty of it. But it is a horrible, horrible thing to have to go through. And domestic abuse is, I have to keep repeating, they don't need to lift a hand. They don't need to lift a hand for it to be abuse. If they're controlling, that's abuse. If they're belittling, that's abuse. And it could be quite subtle. It could be quite subtle. So that, and you might say to your friends, oh, and you know what I mean? It's just horrible. It's horrible. It is horrible. And I lived with it for over a decade. And even after I walked away from it, I was still, I would need to go into the further details of it, and I don't want to. I really don't want to, because I am still trying to heal. I am still trying to heal. I am still trying to heal. I don't know if I'll ever be healed. I don't know. I've had counselling, but counselling, I don't think 2 weeks of counselling can adequately cover something that happened over such a long period of time. I have my own way of trying to heal myself, and doing this as part of the journey, and I'm just trying to give a voice to whoever else has been in a similar situation. So I'm looking at the clock, and it is a long one. It's nearly 15 minutes. So I'm very quickly going to read this poem, and this poem is called Journey Back to Me. I did not seek protection. I did not cry for help. On streets of pain we hide our bruises well. A raised fist or a raised voice, whatever the weapon, bruises don't fade. We make plans to escape, and then we decide to stay. When we finally break free, our lives are forever changed. Do we heal, or do we live with the pain? My journey back to me has had many obstacles along the way, but now he is gone, and it is so much easier to say, I survived, and I am proud of who I am today. As always, if you watch this video, thank you for watching. If you buy the book, thank you for buying the book. And if you are in a similar situation, or you know anyone that is still in a similar situation, my heart goes out to you. My heart goes out to you. Because no one should have to live through that. No one should have to live through that. We have the right to live freely and peacefully, and nobody should be subjected to that. Bye for now.